Hana-ami is the name the Japanese have given stitched flower, and we now have the Hana-ami loom, which is a product that will be able to do all of these different flowers that you can see right here. It's exciting because you can use several different types of media in order to create the flowers. You can use yarn or ribbon, and we also are using raffia. It gives it a nice straw flower look. So yarn can be any size and weight, whatever works for you. You can also use raffia, which is very nice because it comes in a lot of bright colors. We've also had good experience using a 1/8 size ribbon. It can be satin, single satin or double face satin, doesn't matter. And also a nice little 1/8 inch grosgrain ribbon. I'm sure there are other products that you can use, but I think you'll have a great time experimenting and see what works for you. The next thing that I want to do is show you exactly what the loom consists of, so we're going to do that right now. The loom comes quite compact, and it has a base and a lid. We're going to take the lid off, and inside you'll have 6 different types of looms. We've got the large circle, the medium circle, and the small circle. We have a large square, a hexagon, and a small square. We also have a center post that's used if you're going to just do half of a flower, and that is removable as well. It also comes with a darning needle, which we use to do our centers. This is your base to which all of the different looms will fit, and as you work, this will hold it steady so that you can have a nice free motion when you string the loom. So we're going to start with a very simple circle, and we're going to insert the circle into the base. And I'm just going to remove these so we can see directly what we're doing. This will give you a really good idea of how this basic stringing of the loom goes. If you'll notice, on the outside edge of the base there are 4 rectangular holes. They're all 4 sides. What we do there is feed our thread down through the rectangular hole, and there is also a notch that's fit right in here. What we're going to do is do a simple overhand tie, and we're going to just cinch our thread or yarn right up into that notch. And what that will do is hold our yarn taut so that as we're stringing the loom, it won't come apart. The next thing that you need to do, and I'm going to turn this so that it's visible for you, I come up directly between the lowest and the highest peg, run my yarn around the top peg, and come straight down to the opposite side. The next thing we're going to do is circle around that base peg, come up clockwise to the second peg, and go directly diagonally across to the peg on the right hand side of where you started. That is the routine all the way around. Now I found that it's really easy to turn my loom as I'm stringing it. Intuitively it seems to just go a little bit faster, it's comfortable, I seem to not miss a peg when I do this. You of course will find a method that works for you and that's easy. There's always more than one way of stringing a loom. So you're going to go around the pegs one right after the other, again in a clockwise motion, going directly from one peg to the opposite peg. Once you've completed going all the way around the pegs, here's our last peg, we're going to bring our thread down to the opposite side of the first peg from where we had our starting tail. The next step is to just loosen up this first tie off, and then take both ends. We're going to cut the last end the same size as the first, approximately. And we're going to tie this off in a very simple tie that you might do to tie your shoes. This is going to hold both ends, but it also is very easy to release when it's time to take the flower off. That's it for stringing the loom. Now the next thing we want to do is we want to darn all of the flower together so it doesn't fall apart. And what you'll do for that, and I'm going to show you a very simple method, you will take contrasting yarn if you like, thread your darning needle, pull off plenty of yarn to be able to go around your center continuously. And what we're going to do is come up through the center, and you kind of have to just eyeball it, doesn't have to be exact. And from back to front, you're pulling your thread through. You want to hold the tail end as you get started here so that it doesn't come all the way through. I consider a petal to be that which is wrapped around a peg, so I'm going down through the center of a petal from the front to the back and just cinching up on that. Again, I'm going to find my center, bring my darning needle up through the center, go down through the middle of a petal. And again, I'm going to say it, the middle of the petal is the middle of a loop that is around a peg. Once you repeat going through the center several times, because we're going to do this through every single petal around the loom, you'll start to get a really nice, clear, make no mistake about it, center. And then you won't have to hunt for it like I'm doing right now. Pulling up, here's the petal, we're going down through the petal to the back. Pull that, and come up again through the center. Petal to the back. Of course, it always wants to get caught on the pegs. Just be patient with it. Pull it off the pegs as you go. This is probably the most time-consuming piece of making these flowers, and once you get the rhythm of doing this, it's really not time-consuming at all. And it really is what makes your flower look finished in the center. So it's a very thankful thing to do. Alright, I'm going to jump to one that's almost done, since I don't think you need to watch me do this the whole time. Do one more, and I'll show you how to finish it off. Okay, on this one we have one more petal to go through, so I'm coming up to the back. And down through my last petal. And there you go. And hopefully you can see how nice a finish this looks. The next thing we're going to do is just release the ends that you tied in your bow tie off the edge of the base and remove your loom. Now, most of the things that are done with yarn are done for garments, scarves, belts, headbands, handbags, a lot of different things. And sometimes most of the time you want the back to look as nice as the front. So in this case, I'm going to take that first end and make sure I lock it in with the end that I've been darning with, and run the tail through the back. So in terms of knitting speak or crochet, we're going to weave the ends in.